to Mic'd Up Magic with Austin and Caitlin. You are listening to episode 4, all about Disney Dining Table Service Edition, where we will be discussing every table service restaurant we've eaten at, our opinions and reviews. We hope you enjoy.
Let's do it.
Let's do this. Episode 4. This feels like we've been doing this for a minute now.
Yeah.
I was saying only episode 4. It sounds like not a lot of time, but it feels like we've been doing it for a lot of time.
Getting into the zone.
Yeah.
And like the setup was pretty quick. Like I feel like every time it's like,
yeah,
we're getting it more streamlined as to like the process.
Other than the fact that we can't find my headphones.
Well, we would have kept looking, but you said you didn't want them.
Well, yeah, because I was just getting to the point where I just wanted to film.
So if you're watching, that is why Caitlin isn't wearing any headphones.
I mean, it's not like I normally wear big ones anyways. It's just in-ears, but...
True.
Anywho, all right. So like we said in the intro, this is kind of the second installment of our Disney World dining episodes. If you missed out on the last episode we uploaded 2 weeks ago, all about Disney quick service and snacks, go listen to that first, just because we discussed the dining plan in intensity. Can't think of the proper word to say there, but we discussed it in length. That's what I was trying to say. In length in the last episode. So we won't be touching on it as much today, just since we've already kind of discussed it, but we will kind of just get into, like I said, just table service restaurants right now.
Yep.
So
I thought, and when I was making the list of like the places that we've eaten, I had thought that there was a lot more, I think, that we actually had eaten at, but there is like a few that we have eaten at multiple times. So I think that kind of is why I don't know. I was just kind of surprised when we went through, like there's still a good amount, but for some reason I just thought that there was going to be more. Yeah,
no, I agree. But I feel like, if we go for whatever, an 8-day trip, we don't eat at table services every single day. We only eat there a couple times a week. So it feels like it's a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, and like you said, we've eaten at certain places like multiple times. Like one of the restaurants we've eaten at, I think 4 different times. So, It takes away. But anyway, let's get into Disney news first. I'm going to let you look at the thing there and see how much news I have written down.
Wow.
Do you have any Disney news for us?
I did not prepare.
Okay, well then we're not even going to touch on Disney news today, because genuinely there's nothing that like stands out to me that happened in the last 2 weeks since
There's that bathtub float thing.
Oh my gosh, that was just today, Austin. Goodness gracious.
That's why I'm remembering it.
No, there's like nothing really to like discuss, but
they put water in Tiana's, so that's exciting.
Okay. All right. That's exciting.
So hopefully cast previews are coming like in the summer.
Well, it's opening in the summer.
At the end of the summer, I'm saying. But like cast previews should be coming.
Well, we don't know it's the end of the summer.
They said end of the summer, did they not?
No, they just said summer 2024. Oh. So it could be at the beginning.
Sorry. Jeez.
Are we fighting right now?
You're fighting with me.
Whatever. I'm just saying, we don't know for sure that it's the end of the summer. We're all anticipating that it's the end of the summer, but it's not for sure.
There's water in the attraction now, so that's exciting news.
That is exciting news. But it's so funny. I'm like sitting here, I'm like trying to rack my brain of like things that have happened in the last 2 weeks, and I really can't think of anything. So I'm like, oh, there's probably nothing like of like greatness that's happened, but like watch, somebody's gonna be like, this really big thing happened in the last week and you guys didn't talk about it. So yeah, if anything crazy happened and we come across it, or if we didn't come across it and you know it, let us know and we can touch on it in the next one.
Yeah, the most exciting Disney news I think is that my mom and my sister were at Disneyland Paris.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's true. So Austin's, yeah, like he just said, his sister and his mom just went to Disneyland Paris. They just got back last weekend, so they've been home for about a week. But your mom's been to Disney World before once, like
Yeah,
a long time ago.
Yeah, I was like 1 and we went for a day.
Yeah, so she's been to Disney World very briefly, and then Austin's sister has never been to any Disney park, so this was actually the first park that she went to. They went for 3 days, 2 nights.
Yeah.
They stayed on property at the like, I don't know what it's actually called. I think it's called like the Hotel Cheyenne maybe, but it's like the Toy Story themed hotel in Disneyland Paris. They had an absolute blast. Like, she was constantly sending us pictures and videos. Loved it. I got her to like film a bunch of like TikTok type videos, and I'm gonna like edit them and put them on my TikTok at some point. So if you're not following me on TikTok, it's just Magically Caitlin on TikTok, and you can go follow that and see when I eventually post those. But they brought us back some souvenirs. If you're watching on YouTube, you see one of the little souvenirs right here, cute little shoulder plush. But yeah, they had a really fun time, and Caitlin just kept saying like how she's like, I'm enjoying myself here, but I'm just so excited to go to Disney World the whole time. So I was just like, heck yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's exciting.
That's exciting. And then also, I guess we can touch on too, this weekend as we're filming this on Sunday, March the 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. But this weekend on Friday, we went down to Comic-Con Toronto. We've never been to Comic-Con before. We experienced it. I have a vlog coming out on Thursday that you'll see of our experience there. But we did that. It was an experience. It was fun. Yeah. We went just for Friday. We planned on going on Saturday, but then we actually ended up just coming home on Saturday because we really did everything we needed to do on the Friday. So
yeah, it was cool. Like, showroom was massive. There's so much like stuff. And then we saw a couple panels, and then we ended up going to the Raptors game, which was really fun. We just kind of like on a whim left Comic-Con and we're like, what are we going to do for the rest of the night? And then the Raptors had a game in like an hour, and we were right downtown.
Against Orlando, which is pretty fun. Like, I feel like that was like, and like I was already like, yeah, we could do a Raptors game, and then we saw that it was against Orlando. I was like, oh, we have to go watch that solely because I know nothing about basketball, but solely because it was Orlando. I was like, okay, we have to do that. That's so fun. So
we had a fun little weekend, and then we got home yesterday. My sister was over, watched a couple Disney movies. We had our we do like a monthly Disney prep for the trip night. Mm-hmm. So we watched a couple of the Pirates movies last night.
Yep.
And then, so that was kind of our weekend.
Yeah. And that's kind of just, I guess, Disney news that we can touch on. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this episode. Haha, meat and potatoes. Get it? Because we're eating at some sit-down table service restaurants.
Got it.
Let's go. Ozzy, do you want to try and explain quickly what a table service restaurant is at Disney World?
Table service is like a sit-down restaurant. You go in, you normally have to place a reservation. You go and you sit down, the waiter comes, you order your food. It's just like a standard like place where you would go out to eat. So not like a counter where you go pick something up and then you just kind of go off and do your thing, where you actually dedicate, I'm going to say at Disney, 3 hours.
Total. Yeah. Like travel time included.
Yeah. Because by the time you are either at your hotel or a park and you leave to go to the restaurant, this is only if you're actually going somewhere different for the reservation. Because I guess if you're at a park, you just walk to where it is. But anyways, long story short, if you have to travel to a table service. If you have to travel to a table service meal, they usually say to give yourself at minimum an hour. They like to say an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And then you have your meal, which is again another hour and a half, and then your travel time back to wherever you're going. So it's really a big commitment, but if you plan it out well and you kind of know what's going on and you squeeze it in your trip where you can, they are so good and so fun.
Very good. Very fun. It's just a different experience when you're at Disney. It's a time for you to actually kind of slow down on your trip too. Like if you're somebody who is a go, I would say do a couple of these a trip, and it really just forces you to like take a minute, sit down, let your food properly digest, and then, go about your day. So, anyways, it is a little bit more pricier in most cases that you're spending on these sit down meals. But truthfully, a couple of these, I was writing down the prices of like per adult, and I was like, wow, honestly, it's like $5 more to eat here than it would be to just like get like a nice drink and then like main course at like a quick service, but now you're actually getting to sit down. So I don't know. It's really up to you about what you want to prioritize on your trip. We love food at Disney World. It's like one of our, I think, like personally for me, like, I don't know, you can touch on it yourself too, but eating at Disney is like one of my favorite things to do. Like, I just love trying different foods. I love eating out. I'm a big foodie. I like trying different things. I'm a pretty adventurous eater, I would say. There's not many things that I won't eat or try places, so it's a fun experience to do. It's also where you can do, we'll get into it, but like character meals. So if you want to meet characters while you're at Disney and you don't want to wait an hour in line to go meet Mickey or go meet Winnie the Pooh, you can kind of get two birds with one stone. You can sit down, have a meal, and then also meet some characters all at the same time. You're definitely paying for that premium. However, it definitely is worth it in a lot of cases. So different options everywhere for table service meals, and I will always vouch for them. I love doing table service meals. I don't think we have ever done a trip where we haven't eaten at one like table service meal. Like, we always will have at least one. And
it's also just nice getting away from like the theme park food. It's like an actual restaurant. There's a chef, you get like a nice meal, you can get a appetizer, your meal, like a nice drink, like whatever. Like, it's a completely different experience. And if you're there for 4 or 5 days, just having all like park food, going to an actual restaurant, it's like a nice like
get a salad.
It's just a nice change of pace and like change of type of food for your digestive system, realistically.
for your tummies. The only other thing I will quickly comment on, that's just like kind of a random point, just always remember that when you're going to these table service restaurants, you're not only factoring in how much you're paying for what food you're getting, you're also factoring in that you have to tip when you go to these restaurants. And you know, different parts of the world, tipping is seen differently. I feel like in the United States, tipping is a huge thing because servers make less than minimum wage in most cases, and tipping is what I think it's like minimum is like 18% of your
at Disney. I think that's what they say.
It's like minimum 18%, but you can go upwards of like 25%, 30%. I don't know. It gets pretty intense, and you do end up having to spend a lot on tipping, but again, I just always remember that they make a lot less money as servers.
Tipping is a big part of their wage.
Yeah, for sure.
And when you're there 99% of the time, the cast members are so good, and like
you don't even feel bad about tipping. Like you don't feel bad that you're like getting like having to pay more. You're like you can tell the people are working for them money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. So we've broken this up again into, I did each of the different parks, and then we did resorts, and we did Disney Springs. So we'll kind of just go through. I will say, so we've been going to Disney for the last 5, almost 6 years at this point. So a lot of these restaurants we may have eaten at 5 or 6 years ago, and we haven't gone back there again. So a lot of them, we will talk more on the experience or the vibes or where it's at, the location, the price point, like things like that. We won't always touch on 100% of the time what actual meals we had there, just because a lot of menus change as the time goes. So, honestly, like some of them, I genuinely was like looking at menus and I was like, I have no clue what I ordered from here. So I tried my best. We tried our best, but a lot of it is just going to be like, this is the vibe of this restaurant.
Yep.
Ready? Let's start it. So we're going to start in Magic Kingdom, and the first restaurant that we're going to talk about is Crystal Palace. So Crystal Palace is, like I said, in Magic Kingdom. It's like right off to the left of Main Street, and it is a character dining, and we had it for breakfast when we have eaten here. We've eaten here once before, and for every restaurant, I took the actual little blurb that Disney has on their website to kind of just give you the overall atmosphere vibe of it. So we're gonna read each of those off. So for Crystal Palace, it says, dine in Victorian splendor in this greenhouse-inspired Crystal Palace. Idyllically, I don't know if that's the right word, set on Main Street, USA, join Winnie the Pooh and friends for a whimsical, all-you-care-to-enjoy buffet breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So here you are getting classic breakfast options in a buffet style. It's nice to get in here for the first reservation of the day because you can actually get into the park early. You can walk down Main Street and, snap a couple pictures here and there with very, very minimal people. And then also, if you're getting that first reservation, normally you're done eating before the park's even officially open, so you can still get in line to park or to rope drop, whatever ride you want to get to right after your breakfast. The pals that you meet here, like they said, it's Winnie the Pooh and friends. So you are meeting Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Piglet, and Eeyore. And the character dining is really good because they really take their time to come around. Like, you will see everybody there. You will not miss anybody. They do a good job at, like, if you're getting up to leave for your meal and, like, the characters are around, the character attendants kind of watch to make sure that you're going to be able to see whatever character is around. I feel like at this specific restaurant, when we went, again, it was like probably 5 years ago, they really did take their time at every spot. It didn't feel like the characters were rushing through. Like, they really did take their time, which was nice. And the breakfast here was good. I feel like it was good options. There's like stuff here literally for everybody. It's nothing crazy. It's all just like very classic breakfast options. A buffet is always a great option, especially for breakfast, because you can really like fill up for the day. You might not have to eat lunch and then you don't eat again until dinner, or maybe a snack in the middle of your day because you're getting so full from food. So overall, we love Crystal Palace. We may be going back there again in the near future. Who knows? But we really enjoyed it when we ate there.
Yes. And it's in a really good location. Like,
Yeah.
I know you've said where it is, but like
Yeah.
it is really cool because it's all the greenhouse with all the glass everywhere. So it's just a nice, like, gives good vibes in there.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Ozzy, want to touch on the next spot?
Yep. So be our guest for dinner. So I'll read the little blurb. Enter the Beast's enchanted castle for an unforgettable dining experience. Bon appetit, character dining. You get to meet the Beast at the end of the meal.
Sorry, that was the where it says character dining. That was my own. This is my own little bit. So it just says bon appetit.
Oh, bon appetit. This is character dining.
Sorry.
And you get to meet the Beast at the end of the meal. So we ate here for breakfast on our honeymoon, and it was quick service at that time, and it was probably our favorite breakfast.
Yeah,
or at least one of them, because being in the castle is really cool because they have like the 3 different rooms. Mm-hmm. So there's the West Wing, the ballroom, and then
it's called the music box room, but it's basically just like a big music box in the center, and then there's just like pictures of beauty, like Belle and the Beast.
But anyways, like, it's a really cool atmosphere in there. We ate in the main ballroom.
Yep. Every time we've eaten there, we've eaten in the main ballroom.
Yeah. So it is just really cool, and the breakfast was good. But like I said, it's not like that anymore. It's not the same. They don't have the same setup. So, like, it just be aware it is different now because it's a sit down restaurant now for breakfast.
I don't even think I don't even know if they offer breakfast anymore. Honestly, I think they just do lunch and dinner, and it's a la carte, which I think I wrote down there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So dinner is a la carte. It is $70 per adult. You get an appetizer, a main, and a dessert.
$70. Sorry, I know you didn't ever interrupt me, but I'm going to interrupt you.
That's okay.
$70 is astronomical for that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You can continue.
Yeah. So we're not really going to go over what we ate when we were there because the menus are so different. But the food was not the best, and again, like you just said, I feel like it's very overpriced.
Yeah, I feel like part of it is like because it's like you technically meet the Beast at the end of your meal, they're considering that a character dining experience, so they're gonna increase the price on that. And I just found that like the food there, like, do you remember what we had when we ate there?
No.
Yeah, it was not memorable. Basically, it was just like, I feel like it wasn't the best options. It wasn't something that we love to eat. When I was looking at the menu this time around, it's like a lot of like, I don't know, it's like half a chicken, and it's like French onion soup, and it's like all these heavy meals that you're just like, am I really gonna eat this in the middle of Florida in the middle of summer
For $70.
for $70?
Yeah.
Little steep. But I mean, you definitely could, I guess, get up there in value. Like if you're getting like an alcoholic beverage and you're getting like, you know, a filet or like something like that on the menu, like really work the menu the best you can. But I just feel like for what is on the menu, I was like, I don't think that's worth it for us.
Yeah.
And the last place that we've eaten at in the Magic Kingdom is Cinderella's Royal Table. We had this for dinner. So this little blurb says, dine inside Cinderella Castle during this one-of-a-kind fairy tale dining experience. This is considered a signature dining. So anytime we talk about signature dining, one, that's going to use 2 of your table service credits. So you're not only using 1 per person, you're using 2 per person. And then also signature dining is just, it's Disney's way of explaining to you that this is like a higher level of dining experience. I will say, I don't agree with them putting this as a signature dining experience. You are paying to eat in the castle.
Well, it is a signature dining experience, but it's not because of the food.
It's not because of the food. It's because you're meeting the beautiful princesses and you're eating in the Cinderella Castle, which is a very cool experience. I will not deny that. I think it is so cool. Like even Austin's sister, when I was explaining to her that we could eat here, she like kind of seemed interested in it, and I was like if you really want to, we can. However, I just feel like you can get better food at literally any other place on Disney property, quick service or table service. But yeah, so for the character dining, you're meeting 4 to 5 random princesses, plus you're meeting Cinderella at the beginning of your meal. So right when you enter in, they let you get in line, you meet Cinderella. Sometimes the prince is there. I've seen online. I don't think we met him when we were there. I think we just met Cinderella.
I think we did meet him.
Did we?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So maybe we did. I couldn't remember, but I know that he does be there on occasion. Okay, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I do think you're right. But yeah, so you meet them, then you go upstairs, you sit down, and we were really lucky where we sat. We actually sat on a window seat, so we did get to see out onto like the back of where Fantasyland is. Like we basically were like watching the carousel the whole time, which again, beautiful atmosphere, very pretty. It really feels like you're in a castle inside, like the architecture of everything. It's like very stunning. But however, it is a similar experience to Be Our Guest, where it's like it's like a nice atmosphere, but like the food is just not good. We didn't love the options that were there. Again, it's just like these options that were just like, that's just not the type of food that we like to eat. Like it's not something that we would go out of our way to type of food to eat. I don't know what I'm saying. The biggest thing that I always think about when we're here though is how rushed we were. So this is probably, I'm going to assume, one of the most popular dining experiences in Disney World, and obviously they're trying to get as many people in there as they can, and unfortunately that really shows on the guests, because it was like as soon as we sat down, it was like the waitress was like, what can I get you to drink? Do you know what you want to eat? What can I get you? Bringing out the food super fast, which I mean, I guess is a good thing that they're bringing out the food super fast, but it was like they were hovering to clear the table really fast. Like the characters were really quick with you. They really didn't spend a lot of time with you. But yeah, it didn't leave the best, no pun intended, taste in our mouth at the end of the meal. And we definitely have eaten at a lot of better places just overall than Cinderella's Royal Table.
Yeah. If you're only planning on going to 1 or 2 table service meals, and especially if you don't have kids, because I feel like that would be a big factor, because that would just elevate it so much for kids being in the castle and the princesses and everything. But if that's not your situation and you were kind of like, oh, that would be cool, like there's so many better places to go. Yeah,
for sure. And like if you're really looking for somewhere where you can meet the characters, like the princesses specifically in a character meal, there are other ones out there. So I would just look at those. We've never eaten at them, but there is a couple other out there that you can have a look at. All right, moving into my favorite park. You can start it up.
Animal Kingdom. So first off, we have Tusker House for breakfast. So the little blurb here: graze on a bountiful buffet brimming with African-inspired flavors and see host Donald Duck and his friends. So here you can meet Donald, Daisy, Goofy, and Mickey.
And they're all in their safari gear.
Yes. And so this is a buffet style breakfast. It is $47 per adult. African inspired, but not overly adventurous. Still have simple eats for everyone to enjoy. And this one, they do also have pog juice. Or is it different juice?
No, I think it's pog juice.
It's pog juice.
I think it's pog juice.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't know, is Disney's like classic passion fruit, orange, and guava juice. It is the best juice you will ever drink.
Very good juice. And
we're not juice drinkers normally.
Yeah.
We love that juice.
It's very good juice. And then yeah, like this one was really fun. It's really good. You get into the park early again. If you get those early reservations, that's always what we recommend, because that way, again, you get in the park early and you're already in there, and then you're not taking too much of your park time for your eating. So you're not taking park time to eat.
Yeah.
So that kind of gets rid of that one thing I was saying earlier about how you kind of have to factor in the time for everything. Yeah. So.
And I'll just touch quickly too, like the theming in this restaurant is really cute. So it's right over by like where the Lion King show is, and like Kilimanjaro Safari. So you're in the Africa like pavilion in Animal Kingdom, and that really comes through in where you are inside. It's like very like wood, and it's dark, but it's not like mood lighting. It's just like that like dark rich type of feel. I don't know how else to describe that, but yeah, it's really good. It's a really good place to eat. We've only eaten there once. I probably would eat there again. I've never really been drawn to eat there again, but we also like, once we've done one character meal, we kind of are just like, okay, we've done it. So,
Yeah, especially because I mean, for breakfasts, like there are just a lot of quick service snack things that we like to get for breakfast.
And breakfasts, I feel like throughout the parks are all the same. Like all your
Food
sit down,
wise.
like all your sit downs are very, very similar. So,
because a lot of them are the buffet style, and then they just kind of throw everything together, the same stuff. There is unique things at certain ones, but it is pretty much.
It's all very similar.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the next place that we've eaten at in Animal Kingdom is Yak and Yeti. So we've eaten here for dinner. This is actually a third-party restaurant. So this is like, I think it's like run by like an actual restaurant people like outside of Disney, but they're in Disney, if that makes any sense. To some people, literally, you're gonna be like, what? I don't know what you're saying. It's fine. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Like, it's just something that I had to feel the need to say. And now I regret it, and I wish I took it back. Okay, so for Yak and Yeti, travelers can relax and replenish with pan-fried Asian feast in this beautiful Nepalese style restaurant. Is that how you would say that? Nepalese?
Yeah.
Nepalese? You're basically in like you're in like how they say the word travelers. Like, it feels very like adventurous travel. Like, they have like lots of travel elements on the walls. You know what I'm trying to say?
I have no idea.
Oh gosh. They basically, I don't know. It's just a cool restaurant inside. All I can think about though, anytime I think about this restaurant, is how sick I got after what I had here. So it's kind of tainted. I think that the food, not that the food was bad, because Austin enjoyed what he had here. It's just that like, I think what I had maybe wasn't cooked properly. I also might have had like heat stroke. I really don't know, but I was very sick after I had this. So I literally just cannot think of anything other than that whenever I think of this. But I wouldn't be opposed to trying here again, because everybody who talks about this restaurant loves it. So,
I loved it. I remember I had butter chicken there, and I'm pretty sure, like 99% sure I had butter chicken, and it was very, very good. So I would for sure go back there. You definitely just had like a weird one-off, like.
I had like the firecracker shrimp on top of a steak, and I just like, I feel like maybe the steak or the shrimp was not cooked right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But anyways, I would definitely go back because I loved it.
Yeah, I would eat here again too.
And that's one like,
I would try it.
That's one that we ate on our honeymoon that I still remember like was so good. So I like 100% would recommend
Yeah,
that one.
exactly. It was a memorable experience, so it would be definitely something to try again.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, sorry, that's your turn. We're going over to the next place.
So now we are going to Epcot into the Canada Pavilion for Le Cellier. This is a dinner signature dining experience. So again, that signature dining. So this one, descend into the cozy cellar of a Canadian chateau for exquisite steaks and seafood specialties.
And like I was reading, sorry, I keep cutting you off. I was reading the little blurb or whatever, and like as soon as it said like because I never got the vibe of like Le Cellier, I was like, how is this Canadian? But as soon as they said like chateau cellar, I was like, oh yeah, this totally feels like in like Ottawa, like the old streets of like Montreal, like stuff like that. It totally gives that vibe.
So this one is, again, like I said, in the Canada Pavilion, and when you go in and you're in the dining room, like it is very dark. That's like the big, like it's just dark and kind of, they got like little like lights at all the tables, and it's
like
just like
candlelight,
cozy.
It's not dark in a bad way.
No, but it is very dark.
It's dark.
Yeah, but moving on.
But that is the point. Like it's supposed to be in a cellar.
It was so good. It was one of the best meals we had, I think, I would say at least, on our honeymoon, where we ate at a majority of these restaurants, to be honest.
Yeah.
We have never been back since, but I would 100%, no question, go back there. So the next point here is, it was the best steak that you think you have ever had.
Yep.
You always get a fillet, and I get a New York strip. And so you think that was the best fillet you've ever had?
Yeah, I think so.
And then also there you can get the soup.
The cheddar cheese soup, baby. Oh my gosh, it's so good. You can get this cheddar cheese soup at the Flower and Garden. Food and Wine Festival at the little like kiosk in Canada. But like if you get the opportunity to eat at this restaurant, like get it fresh, because oh my gosh, it is so good. Yeah,
and the other small point, the reason why we probably haven't gone back here is because we always go during a festival. And so we talked about this last week, I think, or like the last podcast about the quick services, but we really prioritize the festivals and trying things from the festivals. So whenever we go, there is always one going on. And so we just don't really eat at restaurants at Epcot.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. And it's funny too. Like I was even thinking like, oh, I like just now, I was thinking like, oh man, I would go there on our next trip, but we're going with Austin's sister and she's vegetarian. So I don't think it's worth it for her to go to there, because like
it's a steakhouse.
It's a steakhouse for sure. So
yeah.
But yeah, we'll go back in the future, I feel. All right. We're moving over to Hollywood Studios now. So we've only eaten at one sit down meal in Hollywood Studios, and it is 50's Primetime Cafe. And we've actually eaten here on our last trip, our most recent trip. So this is one of like the most recent experiences we've had. So the little blurb here is, this is classic American comfort food. 50's kitsch and good old fashioned family gathering take you back to a bygone era. The theming in this restaurant is truly Disney Imagineering to a T. The second you walk in the doors there, it's like you feel like you are in a 50's house. You feel like the wallpaper, it looks like something that would be in your grandma's house. It's like the little TVs look like they came right from the 50's. Like it's just crazy. So when you walk in, you really feel like you're in that era. And yeah, like the way that the dining room is all set up is that it makes it look like you're in a house. So in one area of the restaurant, it'll be like a kitchen, a living room, and then like a dining room. And then it's like kind of surrounded by walls. So there'd be like 3 different tables, like of 3 different parties, and then the next area will have the same, the next area will have the same, the next area will have the same. So it makes it feel small, but it's it's probably a huge restaurant. Like I don't even think we were able to see how big the restaurant really was, like in comparison to what we actually like ate inside, But yeah, it's like really good hearty meals. So I was nervous to eat here. We were there in August when we had here. So it was like peak heat, very, very hot all day, hot. I was petrified to eat here because I was like, normally when I'm hot, I don't want to eat anything. Like I'm just like I'm like, anything light is what I want, but everything here is very hearty. However, I was still able to eat it and I didn't feel full. I didn't feel uncomfortable. I felt full in like a good way. Like I didn't feel like stuffed.
Gross.
Yeah, I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm way too full. But yeah, it's still really good, really easy. I would say try and eat here still when you have like, maybe you had a small lunch. Maybe you had a Mickey pretzel as your lunch and then you're coming here for dinner. Because yeah, you definitely don't want to have a full lunch and then come here for a full dinner because it's a lot. But I had the pot pie, I believe. And did you have the meatloaf or did you have the fried chicken? I couldn't remember.
I think I had the meatloaf.
That's what I thought. And then I think Brandon had fried chicken and then Heidi had the roast beef, I think. We each got something different. I know that. But it was really good. I also got the classic. It's like the famous peanut butter and jelly milkshake. Oh, baby. It was so yummy. And what was the drink you got?
It was like something electric lemonade or something.
Yeah, it came with a glow cube.
Yeah.
It's like they said like the theming of like the booze was like dad's liquor cabinet.
Yeah.
Like it was all just like very cutesy. Like it was a cutesy vibe. We also got I think it was like chocolate peanut butter cake for dessert. And oh my gosh, that was so good. Like it was really good. I would highly recommend 50s Primetime to anybody like to go eat at. It was really fun. Yeah, it was a fun experience. I was always nervous to eat here also. Sorry, another point for this place. I was always nervous to eat here because I had heard in the past that they were very like, not mean, but like that's kind of the vibe you were getting. Like it's like your cousin is the one who's your server and like he'll yell at you if you have the elbows on the table and you have to go sit in timeout if you're playing on your phone and like stuff like this. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm like emotionally stable enough to, to have somebody yell
Just
at me.
start sobbing in the middle of the restaurant.
Yeah, to have somebody yell at me in the middle of my dinner. But it wasn't like that at all. Like you got that vibe a little bit, but it wasn't anything where you like felt uncomfortable.
Like our waiter was very, very good.
Oh my gosh, he was so funny.
It wasn't that he was like mean in those kind of ways. He was just like sarcastic and kind of just like dry. Yeah. So that just made it was definitely, it's a unique experience as far as like the staff there. Yeah,
it's cool. It's a cool experience. It's like it's like an all around. You're not just going there to eat. Like you're getting the whole experience.
Yeah.
Like for example, like one of the things was like he was like serving one of the tables like over beside us, and like I pulled out like Austin's little chopper, like his little like droid that he got from Galaxy's Edge earlier that day to show Brandon and Heidi, and I like went to go like put him on the table to like show them how he moved or something, and he like yelled at us from across the thing. He's like, no toys at the dinner table. Yeah, it was just like cute stuff like that, and I was like, oh sorry, and it was just like, I don't know, it was just fun. It's just a fun experience.
And then who was it that couldn't decide what they wanted to drink? So then he just brought over like
Brandon.
Was it Brandon? He didn't decide if he wanted Diet Coke or regular Coke?
Yeah, he didn't know if he wanted Diet Coke or Coke Zero or Diet Coke. Oh, yeah. And then he goes, no, Brandon said he wanted Coke Zero. And then the guy said, we don't have Coke Zero. And he said, okay, Diet Coke's fine. So then the guy brought over a Diet Coke, regular Coke, and then he did a concoction of a half Coke, half Diet Coke, and he said, try that, it's gonna taste like Coke Zero. Like it was just like, it's just like funny. It was just like this whole bit. But anyways, I really enjoyed it. It was a very memorable experience. So I would recommend, if you've ever looked at eating at 50s Primetime, I would recommend to go check it out.
Yeah. So that is the actually only one at Hollywood Studios. So we're going to go to Disney Springs, which again, there's only one. And this is Chef Art Smith's Homecoming. Mm-hmm. So we've eaten there twice. Mm-hmm. That is correct. Twice. Yeah. And so for this one, dig into farm to fork cuisine, showcasing Florida's freshest flavors, all crafted from recipes by this award-winning celebrity chef. This is one of my favorite restaurants. You asked me in the next point here if it's my favorite.
Yeah, I wrote, Ozzy, is this your favorite?
This is one of my favorite restaurants for sure. It's like fried chicken, mac and cheese, pulled pork. You can get, they have like different flavors of moonshine there that you can get to drink, which are really good. And everything's good. Like everything we've had. Yeah.
It's like classic Southern cooking. It's like, it's heavy. It's in a good way. It's like, it's filling. It's like
hearty.
Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah. And it's both times we've had it, 10 out of 10.
Yeah. What are some of the things? I wrote down some of the different things you can get there.
So mac and cheese, pulled pork, fried chicken, and then the moonshine drinks.
Okay, yeah. We also got, when we were there, we did the chicken and waffle. It's like a chicken and waffles, but they do chicken and donuts. Ooh. Split it. There's two of you, split it.
100% split it.
Austin is always the guy that's like, oh, I don't want to split anything. I don't want to split anything. He was the first one to say when we were eating that, we each got it. We both got the same thing. And he goes, we should have split this. And I was like, okay, I know that this is a splittable meal because Austin said it and he never wants to split a meal.
No. Like, I think we would have had a hard time splitting it and getting an appetizer. Like, it would have been tough.
Yeah.
So.
And we got an appetizer and we each got our own. And then we got a dessert.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, that place is really good.
Yeah, it was good. I recommend Homecoming to a lot of people. And
we also have like another memory that I don't think neither one of us will forget is we ate there.
This isn't on Homecoming though. This is like
no. Okay. But no, I'm just saying like we're talking about the restaurant. We ate there the night after we signed our contract for DVC, and we were talking to our rep Dylan. When we were going through all the paperwork and everything, he was asking us what we were doing later. So we said we were going to Homecoming. And then basically at the end of our meal, they brought over a cake and it said like, congratulations on your DVC. Because Dylan had called ahead and kind of set up this like magic moment for us.
Yeah.
So that's like another memory that we'll always have for that restaurant.
Yeah, of that restaurant for sure. But yeah, like I feel like a lot of people do prioritize Disney Springs. And there are so many options to eat at in Disney Springs. We have only ever eaten at Chef Art Smith. So that's how you know how good it is. Because we literally are just like, we don't really care to go anywhere else because we know that this is good. So.
Yep.
Okay, now we're moving into the resorts. We actually have a few. We have a lot of different resort options. I think it's great that a lot of the deluxe resorts have really, really good dining options in their resorts. So not just the deluxe, but a lot of them are from the deluxe. But anyways, starting off at Animal Kingdom Lodge. So this is where, again, we most recently had meals at. This is where we stayed on our last trip for 3 days. So we were actually able to eat at all 3 of the dining options, table service dining options that they have at Animal Kingdom Lodge. So first off is Boma. So this says, resembling a lively African marketplace, this restaurant features all you care to enjoy buffets at breakfast and dinner. So we had breakfast here. It was so good. So the price was $35 per adult.
That's it?
Yes. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy? I literally, when I wrote that down, I was like, or when I like read that, I was like, oh my gosh, that is such a good deal.
Yeah.
Like that is a huge.
Yeah. And like we were saying earlier about how a lot of the breakfasts are the same, this one has a lot of different options as well.
Yeah.
And so like, and then you can order fun drinks because there's like a drink menu and there.
Which you do pay extra for, but.
Yes. But there are like unique drinks you can get. And there, again, like I just said, there is unique food. So that's. And it's in Animal Kingdom Lodge, so it's just so it's such a nice atmosphere to be in. Yeah, and like what Austin said, like there is like different types of like African inspired foods, but there is regular food there as well. Like if you're just looking for, you know, your plain scrambled eggs, your plain Mickey waffles, like they have all that there. But they do have different options for you, which like we said, it's kind of few and far between that you're going to find stuff like that in Disney. So it's a great option. I did say, like, for me personally, I don't know if I would go out of my way to eat there if we weren't staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge. Like, if we were staying at a different deluxe resort, I don't think I would make a reservation to go here. But when we do stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge again in the future, because I am sure we're going to stay there again in the future, I definitely will eat here again. Yeah.
At least once, maybe even twice. Like, maybe do a breakfast and a dinner.
Yeah. If it was easier to get to, we would definitely do it again if we weren't staying there. But Animal Kingdom Lodge it's tough.
It's just hard because it's like there's no other option other than a bus, and you have to take a bus from a resort to another park, and then you'd have to get from your park to there, and like that early in the morning, I don't even know if you'd be able to get into a bus. So
Uber.
Yeah, you'd probably have to take an Uber, which you're paying out of money, like out of pocket for. So
I guess that is the one thing we didn't mention. I mean, we just started talking about resorts, but if you're planning on having especially a breakfast at a different resort than where you're staying, just make sure you know how you're going to get there.
Yeah.
Because it's not the easiest, depending on where you're trying to go. Like if you're on a monorail loop or Skyliner loop, then obviously it's not hard at all. But if you're having to deal with buses, just make sure you kind of factor that in, because if you have a 7:30 a.m. reservation at a different resort, like you're just make sure you know how you're going to get there.
Yeah, for sure.
So going on to the second place at Animal Kingdom Lodge is Jiko. Vibrant spices, crackling wood-burning ovens, and boutique South African wines transport you to the heart of Africa. And this is a signature dining experience. It was good. You got the filet with mac and cheese. You weren't blown away by the food for it being a signature meal. And you were slightly underwhelmed and have eaten at better signature dining. Yes,
that's what I wrote. Would you agree? Would you not agree?
I thought it was very good. Like, it didn't blow me away, but it also wasn't at all disappointing or underwhelming, I didn't think. I think
I'm going to be so real for a second. Like, I had nothing to eat for lunch that day.
Yeah.
And then I had 2 drinks at Victoria Falls.
Yes.
So I was a little bit tipsy. Yeah. So that might have also been why I was just like, I don't really care.
Yeah. No, it was very good. I would eat there again. I do think that the fact that the next restaurant we're going to talk about may have something also to do with the fact that you're saying that it was a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah.
So I'll let you do that now.
Sure. Yeah. So the next place is Sanaa. So this says, experience the art of African cooking with Indian flavors as exotic animals roam the sunset savanna before you. Like, if that doesn't just to a peak describe this restaurant, I don't know what will. I really do think that Sanaa is one of my favorite restaurants in all of Disney property. It is so good. I think that's also why I was so taken aback by this restaurant. I was not expecting to love this restaurant as much as I did. I am not a big Indian, or I wasn't a big Indian food person before. I never really liked butter chicken or curry or anything like that. But holy moly, now we like make it at home because we love this like type of food so much. Austin's always loved butter chicken, so he was always like, I'm down. But I booked this thinking that, oh, Austin's really gonna like this, and I'm probably just gonna like find something I can eat, you know. But truly, like, it might be my favorite meal on property. The bread service that you can get here is insane. This is like, technically it's like an appetizer, but I feel like some people literally just go there, get drinks, get bread service, and then like they're good. It's just basically you get 4 or 5 different types of naan bread, like flavors of naan bread, and then you get, I think it's 9 different dips, something like that. 8, 9, 10, I don't remember, but a bunch of different dips that you get to try with the bread. Oh my gosh, it was just so good. It's such a cool experience too. Like, it's just, what?
Just keep the mic in front of your face. You're like waving it all around. And you don't have the headphones on, so you can't hear it. So I'm just giving you just a little heads up. Just
okay. If it felt wavy there, it's because my mic was going all over the place. All around,
getting really
I was getting excited. Into it. Okay, sorry. Where was I? It's a really good experience that you're getting to have when you eat here.
Yeah.
We, again, like I said, Indian inspired cuisine. Austin got the butter chicken. I got the seafood curry. And then you also get like a side with it, and then it comes with jasmine rice. Literally everything we had was good. Like, I tried what Austin had. Did you try mine?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember.
Don't remember.
Ozzy doesn't love seafood, so maybe he didn't.
Probably not.
But he always says, I'd try it, but I just know I'm not going to like it as much as you, so I don't want to take it away from you. That's always Austin's line for seafood.
Like, whenever we talk about seafood, that's like, I will eat it, but there are so many other things I would rather have.
Yeah, which is fair. For me, I will always choose seafood. But yeah, it was all just so good. I would recommend going out of your way to come here to eat. I think it is 1,000% worth it. Like, worth it to pay for an Uber, worth it to like take the trek to like get to a park, get on a bus, come over here, walk over to wherever you need to go. It's so good. It really is so good.
Yeah. And like, again, taking the trip to get there, you do get to also see the resort, which the resort is
stunning.
Very, like, it's so nice.
And like I literally said in the little like blurb here, you literally are looking out onto the savannah that's there. So you have like giraffes and zebras and all these other animals walking around while you eat. And it's so cool. And like we had a table that wasn't really by the windows. Like we weren't right beside a window, but we could still see. And it was still just like a beautiful experience. I will not stop talking about Sanaa for the rest of my life. I swear.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so the next one we're going to go to the boardwalk, and this is Trattoria al Forno. So we had this on our honeymoon. It was like, what, 5 years ago, 6 years ago? And this was, at the time, it was a character breakfast with Rapunzel, Flynn, Ariel, and Eric. Which we ended up meeting Merida instead of Eric.
Eric wasn't there.
Eric was busy.
He was out on sea or something.
Yeah, doing something. So this place is different now. It's just a regular meal, correct?
Just regular, no character meal at all. It's totally different from when we've experienced it. So,
So the blurb here: savor old world favorites for both breakfast and dinner at this casual Italian eatery. So when we ate here, I agree with this point. I don't remember the food at all. I'm sure it was fine. It was probably good.
Yeah.
But the big factor for us when we ate there was your interaction with Rapunzel.
Yeah.
Which is the reason you will never meet Rapunzel again, which you probably will. But your general rule is that you don't want to meet Rapunzel again because of this experience.
Because it was amazing. Not because it was bad. Because it was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's hard because it's like it was a great experience. I had a great character interaction. We talk about this in our Disney Q&A, which I think is like our second episode. So if you want to listen to that, go check that one out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a really good experience, but it just like I feel like the food was just like it didn't match up to the character experience.
Don't remember.
I genuinely don't remember. I think maybe I got pancakes. That's all I can remember. And I know there was pastries when we ate there. But again, it might be totally different now. So
yeah. And this is one where we would eat there again if we were at the boardwalk. Not that we wouldn't go out of our way to eat there, but there's just like, again, like we said before with breakfast, it's just tough with us because a lot of the time we'll just get a quick grab and go. And then
yeah, like I don't know, like, but they do give like lunch and dinner there as well. But I just true. I wouldn't really. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't go out of my way again. Also because the boardwalk is by Epcot. Yeah, you're just gonna eat at Epcot. Like I don't know, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to our next resort. This is now the Contemporary. So. We have only eaten at one restaurant at the Contemporary, and it is California Grill. So this is a signature dining as well. So it says, savor delectable market-inspired cuisine as you take in the sights of the Seven Seas Lagoon and Magic Kingdom Park. I have a tough time with California Grill now. This used to be one of my all-time favorite restaurants to eat at. I would recommend everybody to eat here. You're on the top floor of the Contemporary. Like it said, you're looking out over onto Seven Seas Lagoon and Magic Kingdom. You can watch the fireworks from here. It's stunning. It's a stunning restaurant to be at. It's a beautiful atmosphere. Inside, it's stunning. It's great.
This was like your restaurant that you were like, we have to eat here. Like, I know we ate there last time or the time before, but like we have to eat here again.
Every time we had to eat here. However, again, as Disney does, they change the menus and they change how things work. This used to be a regular restaurant. It was still signature, but it was a regular restaurant where you could order whatever you wanted from the menu, whatever. Now they have changed it to an a la carte where you are paying $89 a person. I wrote in brackets, wow. That's crazy. So again, you are getting an appetizer, a main, and a dessert. However, if that's not something, this is my problem with a la carte. If that's not something you already plan on getting when you eat out, it's so much higher than what you could be spending. Like if you were just getting a main there, like you could only maybe spend $50, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's still higher of a price point. But to spend $90 American
forced to spend $90.
to be forced to spend $90 to get an appetizer each, to get a main each, to get a dessert each. That's the other thing. If we do get an appetizer and a dessert, we always share an appetizer. We get our own mains, and then we always share a dessert normally, if we do that. So it's like you're just spending so much money. And we've eaten here 3 times before the menu changed, and we have not been back since the menu's changed. So really can't comment on what the menu is now for the a la carte. I did look it over, and I will say they do have the main things that I got when we were there. So they have the goat cheese ravioli, which my mouth is watering thinking about it. My eyes might start tearing up thinking about it. Truly, it is so good. It's like a massive ravioli stuffed with goat cheese. It is so good. And then they also have a filet mignon or whatever as their main. But I just don't know if I would ever be able to spend that price point again. We've never spent it, but I don't think I'd ever be able to go there again to have to spend that price point.
Yeah, just because like you said, we wouldn't get the value out of each getting an app and each getting a dessert. That's just not necessary while we're there. We just, that's not how much, we don't eat that much food.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
It's tough. It's one of the ones that really, truly breaks my heart.
Okay, so now we are going to go over to the Grand Floridian. We are on the monorail loop, and we are going to go to 1900 Park Fair Cafe. So this one is actually reopening on April 10th after a hiatus during the pandemic. Delight in breakfast and dinner buffets while celebrating the magical power of a wish alongside beloved Disney characters. When we went, it was Mary Poppins, Alice, the Mad Hatter, and the Stepsisters, ?
I couldn't really remember, but I know the first 3 for sure were there.
So this one is $54 per adult with classic breakfast buffet options. They also have a strawberry soup, which is very yummy.
That's like their classic. That's like the one thing that they're kind of known for there. It's called the strawberry soup. It's like a cold soup, but it's literally like strawberry, it's, as it says, strawberry soup, and it's delicious.
Yes. And this is one, again, we probably wouldn't go out of our way to go here a second time. But if we were staying at the Grand Floridian, we definitely would.
Yeah, because like we said, it's reopening in April, and they're actually changing the characters. So the characters that we listed today are not the same ones as what will be there in the future. I think the ones coming up are Tiana in a new outfit. Don't know anybody else.
Not sure. I just know Tiana, and Tiana. You can get her gumbo, I'm pretty sure. Is that
really?
Is that, yeah.
I have no clue.
I'm pretty sure that you can get her gumbo.
Yummy. So anyway, yeah.
Check me on that.
Yeah, I do. I mean, obviously I agree. I wrote the script, but I would say, yeah, I wouldn't go out of my way to go there. But when we do eventually stay at the Grand Floridian, we will eat there again. Also, I'm going to just quickly make a point here. We have eaten at almost every food place. What's that called? A restaurant. We've eaten at every restaurant at the Grand Floridian, because when we first started going to Disney World, the Grand Floridian was it looked like heaven's gates for me. You know what I mean? It was one of those places where I was I just want to be here all the time. So we ate at a lot of these restaurants because I genuinely was just this is my favorite resort and I've never stayed here and I just want to try and be here.
And just to jump ahead, we did not eat at Victoria and Albert's. That is not one of them.
Oh yeah,
in case you were thinking that when you said we have ate at almost all of them. That's the one we haven't eaten at.
Yeah, that one in Citrus Coast. But yeah, if you don't know, quick caveat because Ozzy mentioned it, Victoria and Albert's is you're paying $200 per person to eat at this 12 course meal fine dining experience. It's the only place that has Michelin stars at Disney World. It's just this crazy. I'm sure once in our lifetime we will do it, maybe, but maybe we'll see. All right, moving on, going over to the Grand Floridian Cafe. So this is for casual dining. No, it doesn't say that. For casual American dining at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, this elegant yet unpretentious eatery can't be beat. Yeah, I wrote basically the exact same thing. I said it's a very simple spot to eat. Wouldn't really go out of my way to eat here, but if we were staying here, definitely, I think, would sit down a couple times at this resort or at this restaurant for breakfast or dinner or anything like that. When we ate here, we had breakfast. I literally just had like a giant Mickey waffle. I don't remember what you had. Sorry.
Probably just like
probably an omelet or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was good. It was a good spot to eat. Again, it's like very beautiful inside. It's very like quaint and cute. It feels very like regal inside, as the Grand Floridian does. Yeah.
I feel like you should read the next one as well.
Why? Oh, because it's my favorite. This is also one of my favorite restaurants on Disney property. I really think that this is tied with Sanaa for me, but this is Narcoossee's. So it says, slip away to this waterfront setting for coastal cuisine with a spectacular panoramic views. Truly, this restaurant is on the like lake that is attached to the Magic Kingdom. And like it says, there's panoramic views. So the entire restaurant is glass around it. So anywhere you sit, you have beautiful, beautiful views. Most of where you sit, you will see the castle from the restaurant, which is stunning. And like it says, it's mostly seafood here. So if you have a big seafood eater in your party, like me, you absolutely should try and get a reservation at Narcoossee's. It is so delicious. It is so good. I normally get the surf and turf here. It's just so good. It's so good. The lobster tail here. Oh, it's so good. I'm so sorry. It's so good. And I will say, like, even if you don't love seafood, there are good steak options, or any, like, there are good, like, non-seafood options, because like we said, Ozzy's not a big seafood person, and he's still, I won't speak for you, but you can speak.
I mean, I was trying, but oh
my gosh, whatever.
No, I had a really good meal there. I got a steak. I think I had a steak like every night there during our honeymoon. But that steak was very good. I remember that. And they had their Caesar salad. That was like the one that was like the big wedges.
Yeah, it's like a wedge Caesar salad. It was
like
very cool.
3 massive wedges. That was your salad. Anyways,
yeah,
I just remember that.
Yeah. We've eaten here twice also. Do you remember that?
Did we?
Yeah, we've eaten here twice.
Yep. Interesting.
Very good. Okay, I'll let you go next. Oh, this checks out for you to get to talk about.
Yes. So now, I was looking at Kona Cafe. I was like, what? So now onto the Poly, and we're going to talk about Ohana. So start your day with a bountiful breakfast or sit down to a Polynesian themed dinner, both served family style. So your breakfast is $49 per adult and your dinner is $62 per adult. I don't know. I don't agree with this, but I'm going to read the first point. This is everyone's favorite restaurant that they love to hate on. I'm not saying I don't agree with the point. I'm saying I don't agree with the take.
Oh, like for people.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but this is true. This is true. Everybody loves to be like, Ohana isn't that good. Ohana isn't that good.
Those people don't know what they're talking about.
Thank you.
So we've had breakfast and dinner here. We had breakfast on our did we have both on our honeymoon?
We have had both on our honeymoon, and since then we have had dinner there 3 other times.
Yeah, so
we've eaten at Ohana a lot.
Yeah, so first of all, the Poly is so nice inside. I love that resort so much.
I can't wait to stay there.
Yes, agreed. And the breakfast, honestly, my most memorable thing about the breakfast is that it was freezing cold in there, and we thought we were going to get like frostbite in Florida for something. Like somehow,
so bizarre.
It was really weird. But the breakfast is simple. It's character dining, and you get to meet Stitch, Lilo, Mickey, and Pluto. And it just has classic breakfast options. And then for the dinner, this is not a character meal, but it is delicious. This is this is one of, if not my favorite meals on property. So you get so much food. There's so many different options. They just keep bringing plates and plates of noodles and chicken and shrimp. And
I was going to say, the way that they used to do it too, like they don't do this anymore, but this was also like part of the fun of it. They used to literally bring around skewers from their barbecue, and then they'd be like, let's say they bring back, oh my gosh, they bring by the barbecued shrimp. That's like a tongue twister. Yeah. But they'd be like these jumbo shrimp, and they'd be like, how many you want? And I literally could have said the whole skewer, and the guy would have been like, zoink, and took off the whole skewer. Like that was like such a fun experience. They don't do that anymore, unfortunately. I think like, I don't know, COVID changed that, but
yeah.
They bring you like plates now, and however much you want, they will bring it back for you.
Yeah, and then you said that this is your favorite shrimp you've ever had, the best shrimp you've ever had.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'm not gonna say it, but like I am a shrimp connoisseur, I believe.
Yeah, and then you can get the pineapple drink at this place too. So they literally bring your. It's like an. Can you get it non-alcoholic too?
I don't think so. I think you have to get it.
It's an alcoholic beverage, but they like carve out the inside of like a pineapple, and then they bring you the pineapple, and so that's kind of like how you drink it, which it's just like a fun little thing.
And it's good. And it's strong.
Yeah. And then the dessert here is 10 out of 10.
What's the dessert? Oh my gosh. All I could think about was the Rice Krispie that we got.
Oh my God. Okay. I will go into that quickly. So
this has nothing to do with like we still love Ohana after this experience.
We just there was a funny experience. So we were there 2 trips ago and it was our anniversary.
Yeah.
And so we told them it was our anniversary, but the waiter must have thought that we were a lot younger than we were, or whatever, or like that we were just dating and we said it was our anniversary, whatever. So when they brought the little anniversary dessert, the first time we had gone there, we got like this beautiful plate with were they like macaroons?
Yeah.
And there was
and it said like happy anniversary.
Yeah, and it was like so nice, and the macaroons were so good.
Yeah.
And then this time the guy comes over and he brings us a Rice Krispie treat, and he just like puts it on the table, and so we're pretty sure it was like the
children's dessert.
Yeah. So it was just
we kind of laughed at it. We were like, this is the most bizarre experience ever.
Not that we were expecting the macaroons, but we were like, hopefully we get the macaroons again.
Or something like.
And then it was just like the Rice Krispie. So it was pretty funny because I don't think either one of us got a drink that night.
No, because we wanted to, but he never came back and asked us.
Yes.
Don't you remember? And we were kind of like, well, we're not going to ask because he's not going to ask. And he never really came back to ask again if we wanted anything. It was just a bizarre experience, but we kind of laugh about it now.
Yeah. And then we're just kind of rambling now.
Yeah, sorry.
But
back to the original dessert.
Yes. You want to talk about dessert?
What is it?
It's that like
banana.
It's like that like bread cake.
What's that called? Toast. Bread pudding? Is that what it's called? Bread pudding?
I don't even remember what it's called.
We're like, it's so good. I think it's bread pudding, and it has like, it's like a banana caramel sauce that you drizzle over it.
And the guy like comes over and he holds the tub like way up over his head, so and they like drizzle it all. Oh, it's delicious.
It's very good.
And then one other thing I will say about eating at Ohana is the fireworks on the beach afterwards are a 10 out of 10. If you have seen Happily Ever After, or you're planning to already see it later in your trip in the park, and you have a reservation at the Poly, which you don't need to have a reservation at the restaurant to do this, but it's just kind of fun eating there, and then you go outside and you're on the beach, and then you can watch the fireworks from across the lake, and they have the music playing through the speakers on the beach, and so it's really, really cool to see from there.
Quick caveat too, like you can like Austin's just saying, like we can watch it from the beach because that's what we like to do. We like to book it a little bit earlier and then watch from the beach. If you do have a reservation at the time of fireworks, you can see it from the resort. Like you can see it from the restaurant because the whole side of the restaurant is windows, and it does look at Magic Kingdom. So you can watch it from the resort. Why do I keep saying resort instead of restaurant? We just like sitting on the beach and watching it. It's beautiful. All right, moving on. The next place is also at the Polynesian, and this is Kona Cafe. We have eaten here once before, and we have eaten breakfast here. I don't know if you can eat. I think you can eat lunch and dinner here, but I think breakfast is like the more popular option. But anyways, it says this relaxed cafe infuses a bit of Asian zest into traditional American meals and features an onstage sushi kitchen. Very cool. I didn't know that. So yeah, this is a unique breakfast option, and that's rare to find, again, in Disney for breakfasts. The standout option here is the Tonga toast, which is basically an entire loaf of bread, and then like the middle of it's carved out, and there's like this banana compote of some sort in it. And then there's like a strawberry cream drizzle for the top. Holy moly, it is so good. You can get the Tonga toast plain, so without that strawberry drizzle, downstairs at Captain Cook's, which is a quick service, which we did talk about in the last video. However, last podcast. However, the original one is from Conan Cafe, and you have to get it with the strawberry compote. It is so good. And then we also, the other thing here is that they have their special Kona blend coffee in a French press. And this is, again, a Joffrey's coffee. We get this at home because we love it so much. We like order it and get it sent home.
Yep.
But yeah, you can get it here, and it is, again, so good. It's such a rich, like, good coffee. I don't know. It's very good. But I would recommend coming here as a breakfast because it's an easy place to get to for breakfast because it's right on the monorail loop. So you're just jumping on the monorail. It's the first stop on the that's a lie. It's like the third stop on the monorail, but it's easy to get to from the Magic Kingdom. You just take wherever you're staying, take a bus to the Magic Kingdom, jump on the monorail, head over to the Poly, and you're good to go.
Yes. It's like the middle stop. It's not even close.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So we're going to go to the Yacht Club and the Yachtsman's Steakhouse. So we ate here once on our honeymoon 5 years ago. 6 years ago or 5 years ago?
5.5.
Okay, so I'm on the money with 5 or 6. So savor premium steaks, fresh seafood, and more at this New England style steakhouse. So this is a classic steakhouse dining. The bread is very good here. We haven't even talked about this really, other than the bread service at Sanaa, but a lot of different spots in Disney have different breads and butters.
Yeah.
So they'll bring you before your meal. It's like your little like pre-appetizer or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But they have different, again, like they said, different breads and butters. So this one was very good. We didn't have an over the top.
You have to explain what the bread is, though.
Okay. So the bread here is roasted garlic. Oh, roasted garlic. So the bread here, you get roasted garlic that you can spread on your bread for a fresh garlic bread.
It's insane. It's like, do you remember it?
Yeah, I do.
Like, it is so good.
Yeah. Yeah, so they have very good bread. So we didn't have an over the top like super memorable great experience here. It was good, just solid good. So we would try it again, but probably if we were at the beach club, just because there's so many restaurants, and if we're close by, we'll go there again. Yeah. Pretty much covers
and yeah,
it.
like the beach club is attached to the yacht club if you don't know, and yacht club is not a DVC resort, so that's why I say like we'll probably either if we stay at the beach club, because like now that we're DVC members, like it's probably going to be pretty unlikely that we're going to stay anywhere other than DVC resorts, because that would kind of be a waste of money for us if we're paying to stay at DVC and then don't stay at DVC. But anyways, that was just that little caveat. All right, we are on to our very last dining. Do you want to talk about this one?
You can.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You're not gonna be heartbroken?
No.
Okay.
I'll jump in if I have to.
Okay. So the last dining option we are going to talk about is at the Fort Wilderness Resort and Campgrounds, and it is Hoop-Dee-Doo Musical Review.
Woo!
Yeehaw, baby. This is easily one of the coolest experiences that you can have at Disney World. That's just like an experience, to say the least. So it says, hightail it to a high-spirited music and comedy review accompanied by a fantastic feast. This genuinely is one of our favorite things to do at Disney World. We were at the very beginning of like our Disney careers. We ate here every single time. Like our first meal of the trip would always be at Hoop-Dee-Doo. We've kind of come off of that a little bit, just because there's so many different places to eat at, you know, and you want to spread it out, but we do love Hoop-Dee-Doo. Basically, like it said, it's like a dinner and a show. So it's family style food. It's like that classic hearty, like ribs, fried chicken, mac and cheese, beans, potatoes, maybe. I can't remember. Cornbread, garden salad. It is delicious. Your dessert is strawberry cheesecake or strawberry shortcake. And it's just good, yummy food. Again, it's like one of those very hearty type of meals. But the experience of the show that they have is like just so fun on top of it. So it's like they said, it's like a musical, but it's also a comedy. Like it's just very fun. There's a lot of audience interaction. They come down into the audience with you. They interact with the audience. It's a very, very, very fun experience. I recommend this to everybody to do at least once. At least one time going to Disney World, do this. It is so fun.
You do also get bottomless sangria.
And bottomless beer.
Yes.
Trust me, you don't need more than one of those sangria. Oh my gosh. They're intense. They're good, but they're intense.
Yeah, this is like the quintessential Disney, like...
But not Disney as in like Disney classic movies.
No.
It's like the Disney experience.
Yeah, the feel and like the mood, and like you go there for your meal and you just have such a good time and you just completely forget about all of the outside world, and then you're just like in vacation mode, like bam, just like that. It's
because we always do at the beginning of our trip, so that's why we say it feels like we like really feel like we're at Disney, but it really is just like
it's so much fun.
It's Disney to a T. It's
much fun. It's probably my favorite experience.
Yeah.
Like
that's what I said. It's one of our favorite experiences at Disney.
Yeah.
It is a trek to get over here.
Yes.
So Fort Wilderness, if you don't know, is literally a campground. Like it is humongous. So there is actually an internal bus system in Fort Wilderness to get around because it's so big. So to get here, you either have to take a boat from the Magic Kingdom or you're taking a bus from another park to get to Fort Wilderness. And then once you get there, if you're getting from the boat, this is the best option because from the boat, you literally just walk to Pioneer Hall, which is where you're eating. But if you're getting bussed in, you then have to get on a second bus inside of Fort Wilderness Resort and then take the bus to where you're going to be
to
dining.
The back.
Yeah, so it is a trek, but like highly, highly, highly recommend it. Don't let it discourage you. It's fun, but really prioritize some time to get over there because you don't want to be late to this at all.
No, just take the boat, because
go to Magic Kingdom that day and then just take the boat from Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, because the boat, it's also just nice to take the boat because you don't always get to take boats everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're always on buses, so at least in our opinion, we always like to take boats whenever we can.
And then for price ranges here, it ranges from $66 to $75 a person. Again, remember you're watching a show and you are eating. But depending on where you sit is how much you're paying. There's 3 different like seating options. You have like category 1, 2, and 3. I would highly encourage you to splurge if you're going, like just splurge, like spend the extra $10 and sit in like category 1 seating. I think it's totally worth it. We've sat in all 3 of the different areas where you can sit, and I just think like sitting in the main area is the best in my opinion.
I would say on the floor at the front is the best, and then the balcony is second, and then the back of the floor is probably like the worst seating.
This is Austin's ranking. Also, that's not how categories 1, 2, and 3 are divided.
No, look into like how they break it up.
Yeah.
But in my opinion,
our opinions.
Yeah, the balcony. I will say there are a couple weird balcony spots on the corner that I don't think you can see very well. But other than that, the balcony is good, or the very front.
But also, just so you know, this is just like such a random small spot, but all the chairs do swivel. So it's not like you're having to like crank yourself backwards to like look at what's going on. Your chairs literally turn perfectly for you to be able to watch the show and then turn back to your food to eat your food. So. And
another like small thing is when they bring the food, like the show isn't going on the whole time. Like they do give you an opportunity to eat, and then they come back and do the show where you'll probably still be finishing up eating, but it's not like they bring you all your food and you're like trying to figure out what to eat and what's good, and then there's the show going on and you don't want to miss it. Like they do have it like set up pretty organized where you feel like you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, well, that is all of the restaurants that we have eaten at in Walt Disney World that we can remember. I'm pretty sure we didn't miss any, but these are all the restaurants that we have eaten at in Walt Disney World. I will just quickly say, I probably should have said this at the beginning, but to book your dining reservations open up 60 days before your trip. So before your check-in day, you can book 60 days in advance for your dining. A lot of these restaurants, you are going to want to be on the website booking those at the exact 60-day mark at 6 or 7 a.m. or whatever time the dining reservations open, because a lot of these do book up really, really fast. So that is like the biggest tip I will give you guys. Get on there, get booking.
Small bit of Disney news that I just remembered. Speaking of booking dining reservations, if you want to talk about this because you are the resident dining reservation booker, but now you can reserve.
No, it's coming.
No, it's out now.
Not yet.
Yeah. When I was on the website, it said you can now.
Oh.
So I don't know if you want to talk about it at all.
Just a quick little caveat. Before, you used to only book when you were going to search for your dining, you could only like search at one restaurant at a time. Now you can look at everything all at once, like one day for each restaurant. So you used to be able to like be like, okay, Hoop-Dee-Doo, I want to eat on my first day, and then you'd go into your first day and it wasn't available, so you had to go into your second day. Okay, Hoop-Dee-Doo, where is it? Hoop-Dee-Doo, look, is it here? Is it not?
Oh, I see.
Now what it is that you can click Hoop-Dee-Doo, you can click all the dates of your trip, and it will show you every date that is available for your dining reservation that you would like. So huge thing that you can now do. It'll make booking dining much easier, especially if you're staying for an extended period of time.
There you go.
But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. If you enjoyed it, please let us know. Rate the podcast on Spotify or Apple. Rate it however many stars you want to rate it. Don't be forced to rate it 5 stars. Rate it however many stars you truly feel in your heart to rate it. If you are watching this on YouTube, thank you so much. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know what your favorite meal is at Disney World. And we will see you guys and talk to you guys in our next episode. We will see you guys later.
Peace.
Love you. Bye.